get ready, tune in, unwind. It's the Smoke World Podcast. It's time to talk about what's happening, baby. So run, don't crawl. It's the Smoke World Podcast. It's time to think. So go ahead and get yourself a smooth drink. It's the Smoke World Podcast. Light up your cigar, put your feet up, and don't go too far. So tune in weekly in your car, at home, or on your phone, and listen in the Smoke World Podcast, hosted by Stone.
What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Smoke World. I'm your host, Stone, so go grab that stick. Go grab a glass of whatever you're drinking. Let's sit back and have that conversation. I got Sketches in the building. And we got our special guest from Philly, Mercedes.
Hey now.
What's up? What's good? Everybody good? How's everybody doing?
Good, man.
Good. What's going on?
Oh, what you smoking there?
I haven't
What's
seen
going
you
on,
all
man?
year.
I know. It's cold now.
Yeah, that's true.
Dang.
Yeah, shucks.
What you smoking, Sketches? What's that?
I'm smoking a blunt. I'm fuck that.
Yeah, that's what it smell like.
Y'all smoking that cigar.
It smell like a motherfucking blunt in here.
I
Sound
decided
like
to smoke me
It sounds like a black and mild.
Brooklyn, East New York, mixed with Brownsville, Cess blunt. Now this is Perdomo. This is the Perdomo.
Okay, it's a blunt.
This is actually
It's a blunt.
actually strong and harsh, but I wanted to go strong and harsh because I'm drinking a Belizean rum. So it's kind of,
Oh, you getting fancy.
yeah, Belizean rum.
How about you, Mercedes? What you got?
I got this Odyssey habanero.
Okay.
You come here often?
And you got your rum.
I got my rum.
I'm drinking Red Bull and rum.
My rum and my two-step.
We don't want to
Ready?
give out what kind of rum she's drinking. We don't want to give.
I got my Herrera. Drew Estates.
You know, like commercial.
Yeah.
No, because we put that in, I can hashtag it.
What's that?
Whatever we talk about, I can hashtag whatever she's drinking, hashtag that.
They
And
ain't
it
sponsor
brings.
shit.
Always
Forget the
trying
money.
to make
you know,
some money.
That's what
Trying
we
to
need to
make
make
some
money in 2025.
Exactly
If you ain't
right.
sponsoring
Nothing for
nothing,
free.
we don't know your name. When everybody
Rum.
knows
I'm drinking a
your
rum that say
name.
rum.
Rum.
I'm drinking Red Bull and rum. Red Bull get a shout out because they already got it out there. It's like that with
Why you can say Red Bull and she can't say whatever she's drinking?
she was drinking whatever she was
But
drinking.
why you can say Red Bull?
I
You
ain't
have a
say Red
contract
Bull.
with Red
I
Bull?
ain't say Red Bull.
Oh,
Mind your business. God damn, security in the building. What's going on right now? So
We're
Mercedes,
doing the
what's
whole
good?
bus.
Thank you for being here, joining us. We love for you to be here. You're drinking. I can't really see because I don't have my glasses on. We're in an environment where the lights are really nice with the ambiance.
That's that old man.
I do see some
get
other.
it.
Oh, whoa, wait a minute.
I'm
That's a little
just
quick
saying.
sneaky blow. I wasn't even paying
I'm just
attention.
saying.
What?
I'm just saying, it's good to see you too, and I get to be a guest on
Yeah,
Smoke World.
yeah.
That's what's up.
What's up with this cold weather?
I don't know.
What is going? Okay, I don't know what he's looking for. We're looking for bugs. He high. His
What do you
blunt
like?
got him
Man,
high
I'm
already.
looking at my camera and I see an ass in my face.
Listen, he's high already.
I assure you, it ain't mine.
Look, it's an ass. Where that ass at?
Smokey.
You don't look at an ass. Don't you see an ass in there?
Smokey
He
is
has
high already.
some stuff.
Remember for Friday?
Yeah, exactly.
He was in
right.
the chicken coop.
Hey, it's Friday. We ain't got no job.
Oh, there
Come on,
it is.
man. Come
That's
on,
it right
man.
there. But I can't see it
Oh,
because
the
it's hologram.
So he's an
You
ass-
nasty.
So you's an ass shopper.
nasty.
Mad at me because
You be
can't.
out here going like this. Ow.
Yeah, what side
Ow.
of what? Like, yo, you nasty. No, it's just Jack.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
even see it.
Yo, man, I'm
Oh,
upset.
I see it for
I'm gonna be.
real
I mean,
now.
Yo, I like that. Where'd you get that from?
mind your business.
I know it wasn't Timu, because you went like this to the right. You would have saw nothing. It has disappeared.
What you're not gonna do is hate on Timu right now. Timu right now is supplying a lot of American families with their needs of goods and services, sir. So Timu is the bomb.
If you order
And
now,
TikTok shop.
if you order
And
now,
TikTok shop.
order now and get it for Easter.
You better
Yeah, that
order
part.
now.
for Easter.
Yeah, that part.
Before they shut that
no,
down,
no,
too.
no. Hold on. They changed the game. Timu now shipping locally from depends on your location, sir. They can ship 3 days. You get shoes in 3 days. You get your shirts 3 days, 4 days.
So they must be here then.
Mind your business.
Well. Let me find they partnered up with Walmart.
Everybody's partnering with Walmart.
On
Have
the
you
low.
been on the site? It looks like Amazon.
It does. It does. No, it
It
does
looks
look like Amazon.
just like Amazon.
Yep.
Now. Like, what the hell? I thought, okay, it's got to be reputable. It's coming from Walmart. No, it's coming from a third party now.
Yep.
Crazy.
I like that.
That's the game.
I like it.
I'm going to see if they have cigars on there.
No, they don't. They don't have.
That's
I looked
gonna come
already.
soon. That's
They
gonna
don't
come
have
soon.
it. I look. They don't
That's
have
gonna
it.
come soon.
I feel like it will come soon.
No, cigars is one of
Cigar beds is cool.
So, speaking of cigars, and I hate.
Speaking of cigars.
I'm not gonna say I hate to say this, but the PCA just put out an announcement. So, there was a big fight going on for some years in reference to infused cigars with the FDA. They was really pushing to say we're gonna ban these type of cigars. Why? Because Billy and little Jillia, they're not behind the school smoking cigars. But nonetheless, the FDA was going to ban infused cigars. Trump administration comes in and said, "We get that shit out of here. We're not doing none of that. Throw that in the trash." So, PCA has now put out an announcement. Thanks to the Trump administration, this ban has been now terminated. No regulations will be going on with the cigar industry. A win for the cigar industry, but for those who feel some kind of way about this young man named, what's his name again? 47. Yeah. So for the cigar industry, it will be great because he's a non-regulating type of individual. And cigars were regulated under the FDA. At least the infused ones.
I think that's good. I think a lot of women, that's their entry into cigars. So if you really take those infused or those flavors away, you really would probably be chopping a lot of the
infused
sisters
cigars
and
are
that
the
are
number
coming
one
in.
selling cigar globally. That is the number one cigar.
It's a
Infused.
good
Cause I dab into it too. I'm not gonna front. I dab into infused cigars once in the
flavor
blue
you
moon.
like?
I get it from Rosario's out in New York, so they have the Hennessy. They got the
Okay,
the
so
creams.
you like the liquor.
Y'all.
The
Yeah,
liquor.
I'm saying,
I even got
why
a
you say
couple-
with attitude? Nobody was judging.
Because he
brother.
didn't want to
No.
say strawberry.
I'm saying, but
They have strawberry?
you wasn't getting judged. I don't understand. Like
No.
he snapped out. She seen his face. Like, yo, I smoke.
No, they got strawberry.
They have every flavor.
Why, you like strawberry?
No, I'm talking about not an acid. I'm talking about they have strawberry. Like
They do. They have all kinds of infused.
You like that?
You like that?
Want a little strawberry in your life?
You
no, I like
little-
cherry?
I like the Hennessy's and
Little
the
pineapple?
You ain't got man
And
up
the
now.
creams, and the
You
Like a
ain't
little
got the
pineapple
man up
in your
now.
and the
life?
creams.
You want a little pineapple in your
Have
life?
you ever been swallowed? Yeah, but you ain't got man up now.
I grew up in that area where no one got.
You ain't got to put no extra
we
bass
didn't-
in your voice.
We
when
didn't
you start
swallow a
talking.
lot back in the day, so
well,
I grew up in that
Hennessy.
era where we didn't swallow.
Have you ever been swallowed?
We no.
No diddy, man. But it's okay. Nobody said infused. I have had infused cigars. Nothing. That's not my go-to. But I have smoked an infused cigar. I tried the Rosarios. Some cats up
They
there.
pretty good. You don't like the creams? They nice.
The Macanudo creams.
Yeah, they-
are good.
hell yeah,
The
they
Macanudo
nice.
coffees are
Yeah,
good too.
those are nice.
Those are really
No, that's
good.
what I'm saying.
It's
You-
like a dessert.
you put a little more bass in your voice when your joint got a little hot. Yeah, it was nice.
It was a little higher than my voice.
It's, I sound
A little
defensive
bit. A lot.
Well, not-
a lot.
It's only two gingers now.
because I'm mad that they even talk.
It's only
Stupid
Stupid,
genders,
man.
I know you got to adjust in 2025.
I forgot.
Some things you got to. As
It's
old
a
habits
hot
die
mess.
hard. So
It's
you
a
may have to
mess.
make that adjustment, sir.
It's a mess.
It's gonna be hard.
I'm going on a record saying it's a mess.
It's
Like
you
the
know.
weather.
Y'all
The
thought
weather's
Cat
so cold.
Williams is funny and Dave Chappelle? Man, this guy got him beat. Cause at least he's saying it with a straight face. Dave Chappelle did a little. Kevin Hart looks in the camera and it's comedy, but he's doing it with a straight face,
Oh, you
which
said-
makes
'Cause it's
make
for
it
real.
funnier.
That's true. So
Except
if you're a comedian,
there's laws and legislation that's changing because of it. That's what makes it
People's
not
lives
funny.
and everything.
People's lives
People's
and
lives.
you know, yeah, it's affecting real people. Yeah.
Yes.
Other
Millions.
than that,
Millions,
yeah,
too.
Millions. Yeah, absolutely. But the weather.
yeah, I'm tired of it.
It is snowing in Florida. NOLA got 6 or 7 inches of snow.
Yeah.
They had to cancel
They had
conventions.
That's
They
crazy.
had a record-breaking snowfall in New Orleans.
That's crazy.
Period.
That's crazy.
Record. Never ain't got nothing to go back to 1965 or 1862. None of that.
Yo, it was so
The
cold
record.
over there, the levees dropped.
Too soon.
Too soon?
Wow.
I gotta wait.
Too soon.
I don't know. What-
That's fucked up.
The
Too
levees.
soon.
The levees.
But yeah, I need to go somewhere warm, and I don't know where that's at now.
Yeah, because Tampa is about 35
California's
degrees right
on
now
fire.
too. Yeah.
Guess you could go
Can't go
get
My
there.
warm.
son, my
guess it
daughter's
is warm over
in the
there.
middle of the fire right now.
Yeah, how about that?
Hell yeah.
What's going on? She
What's
all right?
going on?
She had to evacuate the first fire. Now she's at a friend's house, and I was like, next place she got to go is the water. She's on the coastline, so it's like they tell people to
Or
stay
come
there,
on home.
and they said she don't want to come to New York. She don't want to come over here. She rather
I'm saying you gotta do what you
stick
gotta
it
do at the
out. You
moment.
know, she'd rather stick it out. So let her
Wow.
stick it out. Hey,
Yeah, it's nowhere where you can go right now. Texas, snow, cold, ice.
It's cold.
I know it's cold.
California is
cold.
warm because of the fires.
You said what?
I said California's warm.
Oh, because
the
of
fires.
fire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fires.
it is.
Man, it's kind of hot. The fires. are
It
really
does. It does puzzle me. Like you're on the coast, and the coast is on the side of water. Why?
Because
They
they
can't
use sea
They
water.
can. They can. They choose.
Well, they
not
said
to.
that it would kill all the vegetation.
I think the fire's gonna do that, isn't it?
Y'all ain't shit.
Yeah, I said the same thing. It was like,
The
yeah,
opinions
look,
of this guest are not
it's
the
gonna-
opinions of the
they
Smoke
said
World
we use
podcast.
seawater's going to mess up all our machinery.
Yeah, I think the fire might do that too.
But
I
yeah,
think-
yeah, Mo, that saltwater is gangster. I understand the fire is
is.
gangster.
They said
Don't-
it's going to destroy all of the engines, all of the
But
fire engines,
it's
all of the airplanes.
You
They don't
lost
wanna
like
use it.
23,000 acres.
and
I
counting.
think, and then one of the most affluent African American communities there in California. So
I understand
think
what
I
you're
would
saying.
take the lesser of two evils on that. Just figure out the.
I understand.
Pull
but
some-
yeah, that
pull some
saltwater-
I
regular
had one guy
water.
thought there was going to be a drought in porno. I'm like, come on, stupid. Man, there's plenty of porno out there. Malibu's it's just a small delay. Calm down. Take it easy.
What? A drought? What? Porno?
Yeah,
What?
they do all the pornos in Malibu over there where the fire's at.
They're doing pornos in the
That's
hood right
probably
now, bro.
worried about the
They've been
wrong
shooting
thing.
pornos in the hood.
Forever.
Since-
You could do it with your phone now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on,
Not
bro.
that I know anything about that.
Yeah.
You're a videographer guy. You probably shot a couple pornos before for a couple $100.
You can do it
Couple of
with
$100?
you could do it with glasses now.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
With the
Go
video
rent the
glasses
motel,
now.
motel Holiday Inn type joint. Go rent that in.
Put your video glasses on and go at it.
Boom. Get the girl. Get the guy. Put the camera. Got your light. You already got the light set up right here. Boom. All right, y'all ready? Get the little camera. All right. Look, I'm gonna go real close to this. You gonna be good? Yeah. Okay.
This
Mercedes
has kind
gonna
of
get-
gone off the rails.
Well,
Yeah.
it ain't no rail.
Yeah,
but
I'm trying.
we're just trying to figure out this whole
trying to
thing.
figure out how far he's gonna go.
Oh, I'll go far.
Yeah, like he,
Yeah,
like he got
I
a
think
job
he's
for me or
gonna-
something.
Yeah.
Like he knows somebody that knows somebody.
You trying to get paid? Work.
I actually have a camera that goes inside.
I ain't saying going inside now. What are you getting carried away?
Why are you choking for?
Inside what?
Exactly. What are you talking about?
We were talking about porn.
Like
and you said
like
you have
what's
a
going
dream
inside?
drainage. Like you go
that
inside.
goes inside of a person.
Not a person.
But
Like,
what's
it
going
can,
inside?
But why
but
would
no,
you want to see this?
No, no. It's like you digging a like inside the pipe.
Plumbing.
Plumbing.
draw-
And,
yeah, I
I
understand.
go. Yeah.
I know,
you got a
but-
crack
How did
that
that-
you want to look in
let's
Let's
there.
talk-
relate this back to
To
porn.
I'm just saying. I probably can use that.
In what way?
Nobody would not even know what the inside.
Yeah,
is.
until you see a gerbil coming at your ass.
Okay.
I don't think I
Next.
want to watch that one.
All right. So
I
Mercedes.
don't want to watch that
All right.
one.
Two girls in a cup.
We got to
Broke
forget.
I
the
don't want to
internet.
watch that.
I do
either.
apologize. I
don't-
do apologize.
See this? I
Mercedes.
tried to stop this before the
Yeah,
train
you're right.
got
You're
all
right.
the
You can't-
way.
Yeah, you're right.
So
to
getting back to
50
cigars.
second and market, but
Yeah.
Good.
you guys wanted
Getting
to
back to
make sure I
cigars.
got all the way there.
The audience is like, what in the
What?
what's y'all talking about right now? Come on.
I do want to ask the question. How do we pick our cigars? Like, do we pick on emotions, how we feel the day, what we have there, laziness? How do you pick your cigars out?
So I start with some favorites, right? So I'll look at what, if it's in a family and I want to try something new, I'll go to a family that I already go to, right? Like my father's or Fuentes. I'll go to a brand that I'm already familiar with. But once in a while, I'll go to an event. It's a vendor there, cigar I've never tried before, especially if it's a minority-owned vendor.
But when you do that, how do you feel? Do you feel stressed out, or do you have a go-to cigar when you're stressed out? You don't.
No, I don't. I have a series of the type of cigars I like. Like I'm a mild to medium, but once in a while I'll buy a cigar. So if I'm at a vendored event, I normally try to buy more than one, and then I'm disappointed if it's not good. But my money's already
I
gone.
know.
So,
I know.
Like sex.
Yeah, I know.
But
You going back to this
back
camera
to
thing,
it,
huh?
back to
No,
it.
no,
Yeah,
I'm
let's go
sorry.
back
I'm
to-
sorry.
What about you, Stone? What do you? Because you have a big reputation in
So
the smoke.
I don't. Very good question. As far as emotion, I don't smoke based on my emotions, if that makes sense. Because I'm a daily smoker, insurance companies, I'm lying. This is for entertainment purposes only. This
Really
is
just
for
once a month.
entertainment
Just once a
purposes
month.
only.
You only
insurance
smoke
company.
doing podcasts.
just once a
Nah,
month.
just for entertainment purposes. Disclaimer. So I don't smoke based on emotions. It's not like, okay, I'm having a bad day or a good day. I try to have a cigar after my day is done. Meaning, I work, still got to work, unfortunately. I go work, by the time I come home, unwind a little bit, dinner, 5 or 6 o'clock. After that, I would like to go enjoy a cigar. So,
Right.
I don't have anything in particular because I'm a full body. I like full body.
Oh, so you're a full body guy.
I'm a full body guy. But now, don't get me wrong, I'll try something
Medium
else.
to full, or you want to go straight in?
Medium to
Pause.
full, I can,
Pause.
Watch yourself. Yeah, goddamn. I'm sorry, people. Sketches is out of control. He's putting cameras in places he ain't got no
still
business.
stuck.
Damn
He's
it.
still stuck there.
So
Damn it.
You're full body.
Full in.
Medium to full body. I can smoke anything. But when I'm having a nice dinner, I done had a nice dinner. My belly is fat and full. Titties are jingling. They're free. My gut's hanging out. I come downstairs. TV's on. Netflix. We didn't have a conversation about Netflix. Their price went up again. Fucking bastards. But
Whoa.
mind your business. Just listen. Calm down. Church is in session.
Right.
So,
I feel like I get my Netflix free with my cell phone.
You do.
I get it free with my cell phone.
You
You
do.
get free?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do.
yeah, you do.
You
There's
do.
different plans.
But he got voice stream, so he don't.
I don't want to.
He got voice
I don't
stream.
want to watch Netflix on my cell phone.
He got voice stream.
Now you got Chrome. I got Chromecast and all that too.
He
But
got
I
voice
want to
stream.
sit down and watch it on the screen that I
I
can
know,
really
that's
see.
what
My
I-
eyes ain't like they used to be, people. Okay, I'm not on the plane.
No, I'm
got-
saying I get it free through the
No, right,
service.
no,
It's
that's
on
true.
my
Right,
TV.
onto the TV.
That is true.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
But he has
I had to mention
Cricket, so
that.
they're getting free T-Move subscription for 6 months. T-Move. 6 months free
Security. Can you come to the rear? Right.
T-Move.
Rat bastard.
What's the old?
you know T-Mobile?
What's the old plan that the people that consumer
Cellular One.
cellular, consumer cellular,
Cellular One.
Yeah, there
That's
it
going
is.
back in time. So when I grab a cigar, at that time of the day, I'm looking for something medium to full. That's what I'm going to be looking for. I'm not really looking to experiment with something I'm lying. What I was going to say, what I want to try something different. If I know I want something good, it's like going to a diner and you're hungry. And you've never been to this diner. I'll go with a safe bet. Go with the burger and fries. I'm not going to be trying to experiment with the lobster, macaroni and cheese and all that kind of dumbness. I'm going to go with a safe bet. I'm going to grab something I know that's going to be consistent, that's going to be good. I'm looking to have a drink.
I feel
I'm
like
sitting-
SpongeBob. 1 hour later.
Well,
I know, like,
you asked the question, sir. I want to give you a full answer. I don't want to be like the politicians.
yeah, but if you
and
say,
not give the
but if you
answer.
set you a full body person, what does have to do with a burger?
Because he's trying to
I'm giving
illustrate
you
the fact
the
that
analogy.
he's
But he told me
sexual.
he's a full body,
I
right?
know.
But because you wasn't paying attention, you was making Timu
was
jokes.
long.
So you wasn't paying. Mercedes, don't jump on his side. Don't encourage him.
It was a
So
bit
so
long.
you're a full body. Okay.
Okay.
Now,
You know what?
so
Fuck y'all.
We done went from the
So-
dinner to the titties to the burgers
so
to
being
the
that
diner.
so being that we talking about full body,
Uh-huh.
how often do you smoke full bodies?
Almost never. So if I have a full body cigar, about halfway through I'm gonna be high as hell. That's just the truth. So I try not to do them.
And I'm the same way.
It's okay.
I'm the same way.
That's why they make different cigars.
I'm the same way.
That's the why they have a variety of cigars.
God forbid you don't eat the right food. Forget
Correct,
about it.
Correct.
You forget about it. Holy
Now,
shit.
now I have
That
a
is why.
question. What do you guys think about the Lancero?
I'm a fan of Lancero
I am too.
because it's
I'm
much
a
more.
big
It's
fan.
less tobacco, and since you get the full flavor
You do.
of that tobacco, you don't get less fillers.
The
So let me say
fillers,
that
right.
less fillers.
I feel like that gives me more of a punch. Like about 3/4 of the
juice.
way down,
Okay.
I'm feeling that a
Feeling
little
that.
bit more than
So you
the
get high off your
actual one.
cigars.
No,
Have you ever got high off a
I
cigar?
have.
Yeah.
heck yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think that might have happened one time.
Really?
And I have no idea what the hell it was. One time, many years ago.
It was
No.
weed.
You a weed smoker? Back when you was a kid, when you smoked weed back in the day? A lot of it.
Sir, this is a public podcast, sir. We're talking about church right now. What are you talking about? Weed.
I probably would guess that would build his tolerance though.
Yeah. Was that the only drug of choice, or you went
So now, going back to this original question, emotions.
emotions? Yes.
Okay, I don't smoke based on emotions. You
I don't
do?
either.
Hell yeah, I do.
Okay,
Do
talk to us.
What?
How does that work?
Uh.
So if you're feeling happy, do you pick something different? You're feeling sad.
How-
You're feeling upset.
Of,
Do you?
of course I do.
Okay,
But
talk
first,
to
tell us how many cigars in a day you smoke.
It all depends on my emotions.
Okay. Oh.
I smoke on emotions.
Emotional roller
So if
coaster.
I'm having a super great time, then I'm gonna smoke a super great cigar.
Okay.
If I'm having a low, what you call it, I'm gonna smoke a full body to bring me up. Give me
Okay.
that lift.
Okay.
But if I'm already high, I'm not gonna match it with a full body. I'm gonna grab a Cuban, a nice mild Cuban.
Okay.
I got
You
some
know?
of that.
Thanks to my man Smoke, I still got half a box left.
Oh, you need another order?
You damn right I do.
Okay. Gotcha.
You damn right I do. So, and if sometimes I do the sweet one. Sometimes I'm in the jacuzzi, and it's early in the morning, and it's about 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning. I wake up and I tell my hot
I'm
spa.
sorry, you're in,
And I
in
got-
what?
I-
What did you say you was in? Where? The what?
A jacuzzi.
Oh, the
I have a jacuzzi
Oh, okay. Excuse
outside.
us.
So I give me a bottle of
Ooh.
champagne.
Wee, outside.
Champagne.
Yeah,
I like champagne too. with
champagne and some
I'm just making
strawberries.
sure I heard him correctly.
cigars.
Champagne, some strawberry, and I can do a.
Strawberries
Strawberries.
too. Chocolate.
You having a love fest by yourself?
Yeah.
No,
What's
you
going
throw
on?
you throw
So-
strawberry in
What
there.
mood is
You
this? We
have
gotta find
that.
out what mood are we in right now. Is this the horny mood? What mood are we in?
It's gotta be
What mood are you in
It's
when
a-
you out with
it's gotta
champagne?
be
It's morning
Champagne.
mimosas
champagne,
strawberries in a
hot
cigar
tub.
in a hot
in a
tub.
hot tub. Yeah,
Jacuzzi. What mood is this?
You
it's
make
called
it-
retirement. That's what it's called.
I understand
It's called
that part,
retirement.
but That ain't got nothing
When
to
you
do with it.
retire, you're gonna start doing things
Sir,
that be like, yo, what the hell am I doing
you
here?
started the conversation. What mood am I in when I'm out there with my chocolate, strawberries, my champagne, in my jacuzzi with my cigar? Is this a
Right.
good mood? I'm assuming this is a good mood. Or are you in a bad mood and you're trying to bring yourself up?
Sometimes.
So you all
Sometimes
over
I
the
be in a
place.
bad mood from that night when I wake up. So you know what? I'm gonna go in the jacuzzi and I'm gonna get in the
So your wife
jacuzzi.
smacked you in your face.
No.
Okay.
No.
So from that
First
night.
of all, the temperature should have smacked you in the face. Let's
What
go back
temperature?
to the fact that it's cold as hell.
No, but when you're in your
Outside.
when you're
Right.
jacuzzi,
You got to
it-
get to it though.
yeah.
it's right
And you
there.
gotta leave.
wet,
It's right
cold.
there. My
Yeah.
jacuzzi is right there. It's
9
I
degrees
open up the
outside,
door,
brother.
I walk into
It's
my
9
jacuzzi.
degrees.
When
wet.
I walk out the door, I walk
and
into
you
a
freeze.
jacuzzi.
2 steps.
Before I get in.
Finish
And
him.
once I take that lid off,
Sub-Zero.
once I take
And
the
you still got to take the lid off.
once I take the lid off, the whole
It's too
room
cold.
is smoky because all that steam
Sir,
is coming from the hot
you
tub.
have to walk outside. 2
Is it-
steps
is
and
your
you're frozen.
jacuzzi
2 steps.
inside?
And
Yeah,
you're
jacuzzi's
frozen.
inside. It's,
Oh,
it's under the
jacuzzi's
porch.
inside. Okay.
And
It's
you're
under the
frozen,
porch.
sir.
It's under the
Okay,
porch.
but I'm sorry. We're disrupting your story. So proceed.
So
Strawberry man.
it all depends on how I feel. So you know, when you have 5 kids, you get 5 different emotions, and you married, you got a whole different emotion. Then you got siblings, and you watch the television, different emotions, different cigars. When I travel, I take different cigars when I travel, because certain cigars you can't smoke near water. When you start to travel a lot, you start to realize, yo, what the fuck?
What
wrong with
humidity?
this? Yeah, the
That's just-
humidity.
that's
What
just
the
any
fuck is wrong
particular
with this
That's
cigar.
what I
cigar?
was
Any
going to
cigar.
ask you about your hot tub. How are your cigars holding up with the humidity of the hot tub?
Because I have, that's what I'm saying, I have certain cigars for that area. So I have cigars that I take down that's inside cellophane. So I have 2 humidors in my house. I have a cellophane humidor, then I got a non-full cellophane humidor. So the one I go to a hot tub, if I'm going to a humidified place, I would take the cellophane ones. The ones where I want to smoke and everything is already ready done, and I take a cigar out the humidor that has no cellophane.
Now, why do you think that works? Out of curiosity.
Because in cellophane, it protects the cigar, and I don't have to baby him as much as I have to baby him.
If I may
without.
raise my hand, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to learn a lesson here today. I'm glad Sketches mentioned that. So really what the cellophane is really for commercial use. It's for traveling,
Right.
so people don't touch it. But it's not really doing nothing more but protecting the cigar from travel.
Well, also
and
an
people.
outside element. Also,
But if
it's
but
an
if you-
insulin. It's
wait, But if you take the cellophane off to smoke it and you're sitting with it over the steam of the hot tub, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
How
you
is
you
your
smoking the
cigar
cellophane?
holding
Because
up
this-
there?
because
Smoking
my-
cellophane.
no, because my cellophane cigar is a different humidity than the ones that's in my the
Got
other
it.
particular.
Well, how long do they stay that different humidity over your hot tub?
How long?
Yeah, so
Well, so my hot tub is here. I have a whole cigar stand. So I put the cigar there when I'm not smoking. It's not close to what you call it. So it's just as bad as you smoking on the beach. And remember, it's crisp. So outside is going to be about 30 degrees outside.
And y'all was talking bad about my hamburgers. Okay.
I'm trying to rock this, but my scientific brain won't let me.
Yeah, the
He's
cigar.
expressing
My
this.
scientific
expressing it.
brain
Cigar-
says
the cigar-
that if you're holding a cigar and you're smoking it in a hot tub, and the hot tub is temperatured at how many degrees?
104.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that.
So it's the same
yeah.
concept of smoking on the beach.
No, because the beach is not hot.
The beach is hot.
The beach, the water, the steam is not coming off.
When I went to Curacao, the water was 90 degrees. So
I
it's
would
hot.
not be in that water smoking a cigar.
You see it all the time.
Don't take his fun. That's his
People do
happy
it all the
time.
time.
That is.
Do not
You're
take
right.
his happy place.
Okay, I digress.
you're-
I
who are
pack
you,
away. I pack
Mercedes,
away
to
my
take away.
scientific.
He's been doing this for
reasoning.
years.
Yeah.
He don't
I
have
pack
any
away
problems.
my
It doesn't-
scientific reasoning.
Yeah,
Stop it.
It doesn't take away from.
I think
the
maybe
cigar.
I'm just jealous
That's
because
all.
you both have smoking spots at home. So me, I
Everyone can
go
have a
to
smoking
the
spot at home.
lounge.
Hold on.
I exclusively smoke in the
You
lounge.
sound like the people who don't smoke in their car.
I don't smoke
I don't
in my
smoke
car.
in my car. I'm like, man, who
Or,
car?
I
you know,
Fucking
you
don't
cars.
smoke
smoke
in
in
my
the
car.
car.
It's my
I
goddamn
don't
car.
smoke in my house.
Why?
Because
I
I
always
don't
ask that
like the
question.
smell of cigar the next day.
They have so many different products.
So what
about- what
I
about-
don't want to push any product on this particular
One-
podcast.
one-
but
I have the
I have
spray.
one out
You
there.
I
want me,
have
you want me to let you
everything
borrow
else.
a
Nope.
product that I have
no,
that?
no,
Okay.
because I don't want to smoke in my car and in my house.
What's your
Plus,
prerogative?
because for me and for some part of the population, smoking
Man.
cigars is social. Like I like to smoke cigars in a lounge because I like to be social when I'm smoking cigars.
I'm glad you mentioned that
Mm-hmm.
because there are people who go to the lounge for different reasons. Because I'm able to smoke home, so when I do go, I don't. I mean, I want to go and talk because I can sit here by myself, which I normally do 99% of the time. But there are people who go to the lounge, go in the corner, get on their computer, put their headphones on, don't go fuck with me, leave me alone. That's cool, but I'm not that person. So when I go to the lounge, hey, I'm trying to have a little conversation. Hey, what's up? Because I can smoke at home by myself, and I hate those kind of places where you go, you sit there like, what the hell? Everybody in their own zone.
Yes.
I'm not. Again, no right or wrong.
Right.
I'm just telling you my experience and my preference. When I go to the lounge, I don't mind being social. Hey, let's have a conversation. What's going on? How you
I
doing?
think the lounges are made for being social.
I
for
think
me.
that's the place to go and mingle.
In Philly, a lot of the lounges are small, and so really, if you're gonna sit there and not talk to anybody, because they're having community talk, right? So they're talking about sports, they're talking about politics, they're talking about whatever in a group, and so if you're not participating, which you don't have to, you just kind of look strange, like just sitting off to the side with your computer
And
by
that,
yourself.
and then if I look like the bad guy when I ask you, yo, what you smoking?
Yeah, you bother me. Get your ass out.
But I
of
do
here,
it
man.
anyway.
Well-
I do it on purpose.
Well, sit at home and smoke if you don't want to be
Right.
talked to.
So I do that on purpose.
People
I
think-
harass people. I'm
So-
not gonna lie. I'm
Well,
that guy.
I can't be mad at him because you got to figure.
I'm that
just-
guy.
Just like Mercedes said, she don't smoke at home and she don't smoke in a car. So these folks,
But I
who might
smoke at
maybe-
home and in the car, and I'm gonna still harass you.
I understand, but these people want to go to the lounge and say, I'm gonna do 2 for 1. I'm gonna go to work. I can do some work, and I can have a stick.
That is unrealistic to think.
Hey,
that
stop banging on
nobody
that
is
table
gonna
over there
talk
like
to you.
that.
Because
Mercedes.
listen, here's the kicker. You'll have a video call going, and I'm in the back like, come on, sit
Well, I don't
down.
know about the video calls, but I'm saying you might better do some work on the computer.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
and
we
you got
had
some music on your lap.
old
your
boy used to
headphones.
do it, and he used to do it all the time. I'm like, yo,
Who?
I kept on bothering. I'm not gonna say his name. I was
Okay.
bothering him.
I don't know who you talking
No,
about.
you
right
can
now.
do both. I think. Like I've
And
gone to the lounge.
now
and
he
working on
doesn't.
stuff.
He barely pulls out. But
He's
it's
That's
some
'cause
people
you
are
ran
shy
him
though.
out. You ran him out.
No, he some people are shy and they go in and they just want to be to themselves and not knowing that, you know what? It is good to talk. It is good to talk.
Speaking of talking, Mercedes, we brung you on because you're a sister on the Leaf, who's on the move. You're at different lounges. You're seeing different things, and it's always a great opportunity for us here at Smoke Row to talk to the sisters of the Leaf because we get a different perspective
Okay.
from what we see and what we do as men to what the sisters do. So you mentioned Philly, and you said Philly has a few lounges, but you're right. It's not really. I don't know what you would define as a large lounge,
Yeah,
but
they're not really large.
they're decent size.
They
Decent
are.
size. Some of them are decent. They all not made the same, just like men. They ain't all made the same. You know what I'm saying? They ain't made the same. But
But we
what
do
has
seek
been-
after the large ones. Go ahead, though.
you can. But then you don't know what to do with
Just
that.
like the men. Go ahead.
Then
But back
like,
to the
what
question.
you gonna do with that? You can't put that nowhere. You can touch it. Yeah, touch, do something. You gonna do something with this, son, man. You gonna do something. Damn.
We left. Did we? I think we left. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. So your experience as a female smoker, visiting multiple lounges, can you share your experiences with the audience of Smoke World?
So, yes.
Thank
so
you.
as
Yes.
a female smoker, I enjoy going to the lounge. As a matter of fact, when I travel, I will always find a lounge, just so I can go and see what's happening in that city. Because cigar culture is a real thing, right? Like, you learn more about a place by going to the cigar lounge and talking with the people, which is why,
Yes, the
again, I don't
locals.
like people who just sit there and don't do anything, because you don't learn anything about the area. But I will tell you, like, as a sister of the leaf, 9 times out of 10, there's some conversation for you in the cigar lounge. If you go to the cigar lounge, somebody wants to talk to you. So either another sis that's like, oh my gosh, there's another sis here, or there's men that are just, we
get
we
some
have a
ass.
couple of different, absolutely that.
Get
And
that
so
ass.
and I will
Them pudding pops. that
it's
jello.
it's crazy because
That cuda.
Some of that gummy.
it's like that fresh meat deal, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the fresh meat, you walk in there, they don't know you, they haven't seen you, and they're like, "Oh my gosh,
Who's that?
who's that?" And you're just
So
like,
how does that make you feel as a sister leaf? I think that's what kind of puts a bad
taste.
experience
It
with
does.
some of the sisters of the leaf when they go to the lounges and they're treated like red meat, like, or they're at the club, like, oh damn, who that? I'm gonna holler at that, opposed to being embraced as anybody else who's coming there to smoke.
I think that cigar culture has changed since I got into cigars. I got into
Okay.
cigars maybe like 12, 13 years ago.
Okay.
And it was really kind of like a affluent deal, right?
A what?
So affluent,
Mind your
like
business.
people who smoke
I went to
cigars
school in Brooklyn. I don't know what that is.
came from a
I didn't
different
either. Just go with it. Go
different
with it.
slice, right? They came from a different slice. They normally cigars are not a cheap. It's not a cheap hobby,
It's
right?
like golf.
And so, right, it's just like golf. And so, but now it's like people are using it as a status symbol. And so there's a difference. And so when you are using it as a status symbol, then you think you should have all the perks that come from this status that you're really probably not anyway. And so that changes the attitude of men towards women. And I'm going to say, I mean, this is going to be very controversial, but I'm going to say that there's a difference between going to a white cigar lounge and a black cigar lounge.
I mean, can you expand on that statement, if you don't mind? I'm going to put my voice on. When you saying there's a difference between the white lounge and you just said white lounge. What's the other word? I
the
don't want
one
to
who
fill that
has
in.
a large amount of black or African Americans.
Okay, so
smoking.
expand upon that. And I mean, can you elaborate a little bit?
So
on that
I can
answer?
only speak from my experience. I can't
That's
speak
all.
as
That's
a,
all. That's
okay.
correct.
So I can say that when I've gone to a non-African American lounge, the conversation has been more just conversational. It's been
General
more about
conversation.
cigars. It's been more about, regular stuff. And I have not, and I'm not ugly, and I've not
No, we
gotten
wouldn't say you
someone
are.
that came and tried to play me or trying to, hit me with the game real fast. Now, Black Cigar Lounge, when I walk in the door, they're like up, down. They're like, okay. And so first of all, half of them, you see, if you don't see the ring on their finger, you see the outline where the ring was before
doing
they
that out
slipped
in
it
the
in their
streets?
pockets. Yeah.
What?
And then the games are,
Sons of bitches.
so, I mean, I think what I would love to see is a more respectful tone towards the women that come into, or a protective tone to the women that come into the cigar lounge. And that's what I think it was about 12 years ago. And so now it's not. It's like I came into the cigar lounge just for you. Like I didn't come here because 9 times out of 10, half of the cigar lounges I go to, if I'm visiting, I'm being offered a flavored cigar anyway. And there's nothing wrong with a flavored, but I don't smoke flavored cigars.
Can we pause and educate the workers and lounge owners that just because you see a female does not necessarily mean that she needs an infused cigar.
Matter of fact, what's the statistics? What's the statistic on?
Well, now you got to get ChatGPT out. That's right there. But I don't know the exact numbers. But there are many women who do smoke infused, but this is where the conversation comes in at. You go and greet your customer.
Mm-hmm.
You should greet all your customers. That's number one. Customer service is key. Get a comment. Hey, welcome to the lounge. Hey, is there anything I can help you find today? You know, is there something particular that you're looking for? So now when you engage in that conversation,
Yep.
yeah, you can find out. You can't just assume, oh yeah, all the infused stuff is right here.
But I've been in the
I'm not looking for
conversation.
views,
I
you
went to
mother-
a cigar lounge in North Carolina, and I was talking to the guy who was selling who was in charge of the humidors, and I told him what kind of cigars I like, and he still was like, well,
Really?
steering me towards, well, here's a cherry one, here's a DBL, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I really don't do flavored cigars. And it took 3 times, and finally I was like, you know what, listen, because I had ordered a drink. I said, listen, just cash me out for my drink. I'll just go ahead and find another lounge.
Either he wasn't paying attention or he was just being an ignorant son of a bitch.
It's true though. It's definitely true.
Oh no, this is why I love to bring my sisters of the leaf on to give their experience, share their stories.
And even when you go on the pages on Facebook, and that's the first thing they say is like, when a woman would say, "What do you think is the first cigar?" and everybody would say acids. It's like,
well,
predominantly, why are they saying that? Like,
because
that's not our first cigar. Why? If I go on there and say, "What do you think was my first cigar as a man?" No one would say acid.
But hold on,
They might.
and justification. of that.
It is.
I have
and
a justification for
yeah.
that. So I'm gonna tell you now, if I may, if this is gonna be okay, because I know y'all still about to talk my hamburgers. Anyway, if you're a brand new
was a long
smoker, whether you be
story.
male or female, 99% of the time, I'm going to give you an infuse. I can't give you what I smoke because
think
now you're gonna
that's
have a
fair.
bad experience. Because it's like, okay, it's like your grandma who make great greens,
That is
collard
fair.
greens, and now
is
somebody
fair.
at work makes some
Think
jacked
so?
up greens.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think that's fair
Absolutely.
because a lot of people are not used to the mechanism of cigar smoke, and so I tell all, like, I have a very big thing of introducing women to cigars. That's one of the things I enjoy doing, and I'll tell them, hey, listen, start with something that's very, very pleasant on your palate. Because if you're not used to cigars, you want to start with something that you're going to enjoy the taste of. If not, you're never going to graduate. So I think there's a really good place for starting with an infused cigar. I think the problem is where you think that every woman that's coming in to your establishment needs to have a flavored cigar.
I guess it goes back to
Sir, let
As-
me help you out. There's more men smoking these infused cigars than a little bit. You go to the lounge, them cats are smoking more infused
They
cigars
are.
than anybody else. But to go back to my original point, if you're a brand new smoker, you say, hey, Stone, Mercedes, Sketches, y'all stunting over here. Damn, this look pretty cool. What cigar would y'all recommend for me? You don't smoke. I'm going to get you an infused cigar. I might say, okay, you got a preference. You like chocolate, you like vanilla, you like a fruity, because I'm going to give you something sweet on your palate. It's going to be on your lips.
And
Okay.
then you'll enjoy it.
Right.
Yep.
Because now you got to start from scratch. They never smoked it. Now, cigarette smokers, cigarette smokers are the worst in the sense of they like to inhale. Bam.
And that's why you have to have
Jesus
somebody
Christ.
show you how to
So
do it.
we give them instructions.
Yep.
We're going to show you how to cut it. Bing, bing, bing. Cut it up. Take out the wrapper. Cut it. Clip, clip. Now we're going to show you how to light the cigar. Okay? What you're not going to do is inhale the cigar. You're
I
going to
give
take
him the water.
a
I
draw,
give him the water.
clean the palate.
No. There's a water
now you're getting
instruction.
There's a
So
water.
what I tell them to do is I tell them to take a sip of their water, whatever they have in front of them, and let it stop
Why you
at
gotta
the
be
back
talking
of their
like that?
throat.
Why,
Oh, did you not like that? That's my sexy.
yeah, you just got to
Take a sip of your water.
people can't see us, but she's got to like a certain position.
I did.
I give them
All
the
right,
water.
so
She turned to the side.
I give them the wet test.
okay.
So I tell them to take a sip of their liquid and let it stop at the back of their throat. Don't swallow it.
What the?
And that's where your cigar
Wait,
stops.
wait.
That's where your
Okay,
cigar smoke stops.
Okay.
I ain't never heard that before,
You
bro.
learn every day.
Listen, take a sip.
learn
I don't know if I want to know that.
Take a sip.
learn
I don't
every day.
know if I want to
Listen,
know that.
take a sip of your drinks. Take a sip of your drinks.
I don't want to play this game.
Come on, you play it. Take a
I'ma
sip of
do
your
it, I'ma
drink,
do
but
it.
don't swallow it.
Come on, throat goat.
That was a low blow.
Come
That
on, throat
was super
goat. Take
low.
a sip of your
Now
drink.
he's not doing it.
Yeah, take a sip. Put it right in the back of your
that's
throat.
not
Let it
nice.
sit right there and gargle a little bit.
No, you don't gargle.
Let me know when you're ready.
Just don't
Let me know
swallow
when
it.
you're ready.
And then that's
All
where
right.
your cigar
I'm
smoke
sorry.
stops.
I'm
You're
being
such
interrupted.
a-
So you take a
No,
sip of
it's
the water.
too late.
We're
You done
learning.
messed it up. You done called him a throat goat. He's not gonna do it. I just
No, I'm
want to
doing
go on
that.
the record and say he's not
No,
doing it.
no, I'm doing it
he's
now.
choking. That's
He's
not
red
because
eyed.
he
He's
did
got
it.
red
No, I
eyes.
did it
That
because
doesn't-
He was
No,
retro helling.
I retro in hell
and bust his ass.
to bring me into a man
The
mode.
retro hell
I had to go to man mode.
That retro hell.
So I'm in
bust his
man mode.
ass.
I don't care. Once you go into
This
man mode, you can do whatever you could.
Got
Once
red
you
eyes.
go to
His
man
eyes are
mode,
watery.
you can do whatever you want afterward.
This mofo
Where
right
to put
now
this water at?
did a retro and it bust his ass.
It's just stop it before you swallow.
Stop before you swallow. Is that like pissing and stopping?
Now swallow. Do you feel where it stopped? That's where your cigar smoke stops. And it'll never go down your throat if you stop it when you stop. Okay.
Oh, okay.
He ain't even got no freaking smoke in it.
So I'm trying
I don't
almost
know.
retro inhale rum.
I don't know what the hell.
He needs some
He
practice.
failed. He failed the fucking
Listen,
time.
hold on now, Mercedes.
He
Let's
failed.
be fair. This is his first time. You got
Drink and
practice.
drink?
Wait, hold on.
I never put it.
You
back
telling
there.
folks to take a sip. I'm going to do it.
Okay, take a sip.
I
but
never
don't
did
swallow.
that.
Ladies
swallow.
and gentlemen,
I never did
Don't
that.
swallow.
I'm going to take a sip of my drink.
You never not swallowed a
Blanks.
drink?
No, but you wanted me to go all the way in the back
No,
of my
no, no.
throat.
I just want you
Pause.
to know.
Hold on,
I
man.
want you to not swallow.
I'm in class right now, sir.
Oh, just keep it in my mouth?
No.
Sir,
Stop.
ma'am.
Please.
Thank
Go ahead,
you.
do it. You do it.
Okay. What am I going to do
Take a
here?
sip.
I'm going to take a sip. Now, you got to remember, this ain't water. So we are
Okay.
drinking.
Because you got a little burny alcohol, then that might aid to it.
Yeah,
But go
right,
ahead.
right,
That's what I'm
absolutely.
saying.
Yeah. So,
Go ahead.
okay. So, got to be careful. I don't want to be like Sketches and have my face busted up.
If
Hold on.
you
Take a sip.
choke,
Yeah, this is
then
not
you
going to be
failed.
this. Okay, mind your business. Here we go.
did you hold it there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now swallow it.
I don't like how this sounds. I don't like how none of this
No.
sounds.
You told me to
I'm just
hold.
gonna
I just told him to
I
hold.
told him, did he feel it before I told him to swallow it?
be real. Do I feel what? What am I
Did you
supposed
feel
to feel?
where the alcohol stopped? Where your
it
drink
stopped?
stopped?
No, I took my alcohol and I let it lay in the back of my throat.
Have you ever been swallowed?
So I swallowed.
You know what? Clearly, never
You want me to do the hokey pokey and turn myself
Never
around
mind.
now? What?
Never mind.
So, okay.
So it works when I'm teaching people. Apparently not the two of you all, but
remember, you're using
yeah.
water.
Water.
So,
correct.
Oh,
This-
see, that's the that. There it is. There it is.
We are drinking
Oh,
bourbons
I'm
and
drinking.
whiskey.
I'm
Y'all
drinking
rum.
rum
I'm
from
drinking-
a significant
I'm
country.
Drinking, I'm drinking
But you know
bourbon.
one thing I do want to say, because I felt like I kind of hit the brothers a little bit. I do want to talk about the other sisters of the leaf.
Talk to
The who?
us.
The other sisters of the leaf. Now, there's two types of sisters of the leaves.
Two times. Only two?
Oh, there's a bunch, but I'm going to
Oh,
just
okay.
break this down into two categories.
Talk to us.
There's the one sister of the leaf that's excited to see you. She's doing high fives. She's happy to see you. She's like, hey, sis, how you doing? And there's the other one, if you look halfway decent, she's being a complete ass to you.
Oh, you're a threat.
You're a threat. You're coming into a cigar lounge, and she's feeling like you're competition. And this is where the sisters of the leaves divide, because instead of supporting each other, it ends up being this competition that it doesn't need to be. And that's that. And I get it, because you're sitting in a cigar lounge. Maybe you're a member of the cigar lounge, and maybe the brothers have been coming at you strong, and then another girl comes in,
You're a
and then they're
threat.
not paying attention to you anymore, and they're talking to this other girl because she's fresh meat. But then what you did as a sister of the leaf is you left her out there by herself, and you left her now. She's compromised. When you could have sat with her, you could have made sure she was good, because it's your home lounge.
Okay,
You
so
know, and so I think on
what can you
both
talk
sides,
to? What can you tell those sisters? They're listening right now. Sisters,
y'all are.
But this is not the first time I've heard this.
You guys are beautiful. You're beautiful, and you are more than enough.
But it's not the first
And
time
so
I heard this.
when you see another sister, 9 times out of 10, she ain't even interested in the men that's there. She's there to have a cigar and to have some camaraderie, especially if I'm visiting. I'm not looking to take nothing home. I'm just in your town for a couple days.
I've heard that. I had
So-
heard that a couple of times.
So, but between all of the men coming over, like they never seen a woman before, it would be nice to see a friendly face in that place. So,
stop!
so
Y'all
just
stop
for-
acting up. Stop acting
Well,
like
both.
this.
Let's try getting on both sides, and it really, like, again, in the
Right.
African American lounge, we got to do better. We have to do better by each other, and that's.
Did I do that to you when you came in?
You
What
gave
did
me
we-
the look up and down. No, I'm kidding.
Now, how did we first meet?
In the lounge in Philly.
No.
You met
we-
in Philly?
Yeah, we met in Philly.
Yes.
Was I around?
Yes,
You
you
probably
guys were
was.
at the party that was at what's the lounge across from the casino?
On Delaware Avenue.
Yes, on Columbus.
The big one?
No, the little
little
one.
one.
Yeah.
I ain't giving nobody no shout out. They ain't paid no money.
Okay,
yet.
well, we ain't gonna
Yeah.
do that. That's why I
the
said
little
the
one.
lounge.
The little one.
That's why I said
That's
the
when you
lounge.
really? That's when you
Yeah,
first
that's
met
when
him?
that's when we met. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Now,
I don't remember.
Now, I met Mercedes at the lounge. There was a story where she called the lounge. I guess she said she did a Google search. And the person who answered the phone, very good brother, was like, yo, come on out. Boom, boom, boom. He just a good dude. I can say his name.
Say his name.
Well, I don't want to say his name.
Say his name.
No. Because then, no. Anyway, I'm going to let her take it from here. You called the lounge.
I
and
did.
a good brother,
Did.
one of our good brothers, answered the phone, was very welcoming and very informational. Is that a word? Informational? But anyway, yeah, proceed.
Yeah,
Take it from there.
I think that anytime, because I travel so much and I will find a lounge on Yelp. That's probably my number one go-to place to find a lounge. I will first try to call. I will call to see, okay, and I have a couple questions when I call.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, is there a cover? Is there a cigar minimum? What is the cigars? What's the attitude towards women? Like, can I just come in there by myself? Am I good to go? Like,
I don't think nobody's going to say no.
you know what?
Have you ever said, no, this is not women friendly?
No, I have had ones that say we don't actually have any female members, or we don't have a lot of female visitors. So
Okay.
it sets the expectation that if I'm going there, I may be the only female in the place. You know, will I not go? No, I'm still gonna go because I'm going for a cigar. But you know, I like to ask those questions anyway, and I like to know, is it a membership only lounge? You know what I mean? So I will call.
I do the same thing. I'm not gonna lie. I do the same
Yeah.
thing. When I always call the lounge before I get there. I've never been there before. I do.
I don't call. I do go online, take a look, some reviews, some pictures, get an idea of the size. Humidor's 99% of the time online. Somebody took pictures of the humidor. But I'm not a caller. I'm not a phone person, number one. But, so, again, going back to Mercedes, meeting you was at the lounge. And
Oh, it was upstanding, though, both of you guys. I mean, the truth is, like, never, which is why we can hang out. And
But
we
you're
can
a
be
traveler,
friends.
so
I am.
being a traveler, travelers do different things that normal people don't do.
that's true.
So she's a traveler. So I'm a traveler also.
Solo traveler sometimes, too. So
most
that's
of the time.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
sometimes.
Most of the time.
Yeah, that's a big
But I
difference.
think that none of the reviews, even on Yelp, I'm not going to say none. I'm going to say very few are done by other women
True.
or Sisters of the Leaf. So what you might experience in a cigar lounge is going to be way different from
Yes.
what I experience in a cigar lounge.
Yeah.
And so it's important to make those calls so you at least you don't want to feel like you spent your money, you spent your time, and you're not having a good time, right? And so that's important, because if I'm going to be sitting somewhere for hours, the stick is going to take a couple of hours. We want to make sure I'm having a good
You're
time.
educating lounge owners now.
I know how she feels.
So I want you to, because it's not necessarily pretend, because you're actually educating lounge owners and workers. Tell them, as a Sister of the Leaf, what can they do to enhance their lounge to make it more friendlier for Sisters of the Leaf. You just brought up a few good points, but I need you to reiterate some of those points that, hey, I'm a Sister of the Leaf and I'm traveling. These things would be a little more conducive for females that you don't have, and it's a small thing that you can do that's not going to cost you anything. What would you tell them?
Well, make sure your front of the house is really personable. That's first. Because if I'm calling, just like the lounge that we met at, when I called, I wasn't even sure I was going to go to that lounge that night. Mm-hmm. But that guy that picked up the phone, he was so awesome that I was like, you know what, I'm a little tired, but I'm going to go to the lounge anyway because I just had a really great experience. So when you have people at the front of your house that are, you know, maybe it's like bartending, right? Mm-hmm. If you have people that are unwelcoming, then I'm not going to stay, right? And then make sure that whoever is running your humidor, whoever is your customer service, they know your humidor. Because what'll happen is you'll have someone that, like me, that knows cigars. I don't want to be introduced to cherry cigars. You know what I mean? Be a good listener, like you said before, and have a good variety that you're showing people and you're showing women. And comfy chairs don't hurt, and nor do good vent systems. Good vent systems are the trademark because my hair.
So I never went to a cigar lounge and was offered an infused cigar. Never.
That's because you have a penis.
Whoa, why you gotta say it like that, man?
Well, that's because you're a guy. And that's really the biggest.
No, that's true.
the biggest difference. And you're not going to worry about a vent system as much as I would, because you
The
can
hair,
go and throw
the hair,
your
the clothes, right,
yeah,
right.
your shampoo in your hair real
Right.
short, and that's it.
Right.
But a lot
All
of
these little
women,
hair jokes, these little dabs and jabs at hair we ain't doing that today. We're not going to do that on this
your
podcast.
scalp is important.
You know what I'm saying? We're not going to be talking about your hair, just because you got a little
Hold
hair.
on, I got some banana for you. I forgot to bring it in. I have some in the car.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, Sketches is a witch doctor, according to some of
He likes
smoker
Dr.
friends.
Sebi.
Yeah, I'm a witch doctor.
Yeah,
I'm a witch doctor.
He's defined as the witch doctor in some circles.
Oh, you get another drink?
I am, I know.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, that's something interesting that you find that when Sisters of the Leaf go into the lounge. So lounge owners, I tell you this all the time: customer service. Make sure your workers are educated in the product, and don't assume. Do not assume that because they're female that they smoke infused cigars. Have that conversation.
So let's nip it in the bud. What if you don't offer an infused cigar for a first timer? What's the next best thing?
A very mild Connecticut cigar.
Correct.
Woo!
But I think just asking and listening.
Asking and listening.
Yeah, I can say another thing. Cigar wraps. Cigar wraps. Oh, cigar wraps. Listen, I have been pushed over to talk to a guy behind me when I have had questions about their cigars. Don't assume that because I'm a female in here that I don't know enough, and I'm asking you, because what'll happen is if I really enjoy it or you're telling me about it, I'll buy a box of it. So you assume maybe I won't, and then you just dismiss me right away.
On that sale.
And you missed out on the sale, because what
Absolutely.
I'm never going to do is
say it
spend
again, but I'm
money
never
when
gonna
somebody has been ignoring
Say it
me,
again,
or
but I'm
never
never
going to
gonna
do.
Never
I've
gonna
actually
give it,
talked to
never gonna get it,
like a
never
cigar
gonna get
line owner who had reps there. And I said, listen, I would have bought a couple boxes of your cigars, but your reps didn't take the time to even explain, because I just had a couple questions because I was not familiar with your line.
The product.
And so wouldn't even talk to me about it. So I'm like, well, you just missed out on that
Wouldn't
sale.
even talk to you about it. This is that.
That happened.
job.
That happened to me.
But that is their fucking
Yo,
job.
it happened. It's like I was
What are we
annoying.
talking
It's like I
about?
was annoying them.
Okay, so now Sketches. Here's your opportunity
You give
to
it
talk
to
to those
them. You
reps.
tell 'em.
You hadn't. I haven't experienced that because
Because you're Smoke World.
well, no, because they don't know who I am necessarily. I'm just a black guy with a bald head. And
I think
don't got no
I had a
problem
hoodie
telling
on.
Well,
Don't
you-
matter.
No, it does matter. It does
Sir.
matter when you
Sir.
have a certain look
Sketches.
to a certain. It
Here's
does
your
matter.
opportunity.
It does
Yeah,
matter.
I-
Sketches. Here's your opportunity, sir,
It does matter.
to talk to those reps, to tell them, just like Mercedes did, to give your opinion on the experience you had when you was talking to a rep. The mic is yours.
Right. So when you go into cigar lounge and you ask a question like, "What's the difference between this cigar and that cigar?" They look at you like, "You don't know? Why you don't know? You a man. You should know this." No, why? I don't smoke this type of cigar. I didn't know if you're on the top of the valley, different from the cigars on the bottom of the valley. So you're making me feel like I'm stupid. And it's like, you know what? Now I'm not going to buy that whole line because the way you talk to me. Because I had a hoodie on and I looked a certain way. But if I had a suit on, you're going to break it down to me.
And those will be the ones that buy one freaking cigar. I mean, that's the
So
kicker.
you saying you was profiled?
Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't
that's a
once.
shame.
It was a couple of times.
That's a shame.
Okay, so that's just what I'm giving you the opportunity to share your story.
So talk to somebody like they don't know about the cigar business. To everybody. It's a win-win.
Especially
What do you
when,
compare
like you
it with?
said, it's
There's no
your
pushback
job.
from me.
It's
Hey.
your job.
What's a good pairing? What's the difference between this and that one?
That's
you know?
called good customer service. Now,
It's your job.
Are we talking about reps? Because now that's a different scenario, opposed to the person who works at the lounge.
No, I'm talking about rep. Well, both, but right now
I'm
we're
saying
talking about reps.
Yeah.
We're talking about the reps that have events, right? So 9 times out of 10, if you're standing up an event in a cigar lounge and people are coming to your event, or they're at the cigar lounge and they're there while you're there, so they're trying to understand, okay, there's a reason why you're here, and so maybe this line I'm not familiar with. So
A lot of times you're not.
So do you exactly? That's why they're doing a stand up in a
Right,
cigar lounge, so
right.
that they
That's
can
what-
introduce it to
Spoon
new
feed
customer
us.
base.
Spoon feed
And so
everybody.
if you have people who are there and they're coming up and asking you, like, what would you rather be doing? Sitting on the couch, like smoking a cigar instead of talking to potential customers? Like, when you don't talk to the guy in the hoodie or the female that's walking by, you don't talk to us and we have questions about your line. All you're going to do is stand off to the side and smoke a cigar and look crazy. So go ahead and you should be honing your, I've been a ambassador for 2 different cigars. What you should be doing every time you get a chance to talk to somebody, you're honing your skill too.
Yes.
You're learning how to talk to people about that cigar in a way that turns them into a customer. And so when you profile people based on whatever, maybe you think, oh, she's a female, or oh, he's got a hoodie, so he doesn't have any money, whatever. You've lost your opportunity to get some self-training yourself.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, because matter of fact, February next month makes 15 years for me, and I'm still learning.
We always learning.
So I be
There's always new cigars hitting the market.
You're always learning.
right. So and I'm the retarded guy.
Can't say that
Not
word.
at all.
Can't say that word.
I wouldn't say
I
that.
can say that. You can say that word now.
Can't say that word.
Because Trump's in office. You can say retarded. So
Oh my God.
I
Ladies and
strike
gentlemen.
that as a no.
talk to me
Objection,
like I
Your
don't
Honor.
know.
Objection, Your Honor.
So if you tell me spoon feed me, then I can tell that information to somebody else, right?
Well, no, then I'll probably, if you really
I'm like, wait a
explain
minute,
it to me,
yeah.
I'm going to buy some of those cigars.
Yeah.
Even
That
if
is
it's just
their
to try it.
fucking job.
I know.
They-
Okay, so when you come in, if
They don't
I'm
know,
a
but they
rep-
don't know their job. They think they
Well,
sell.
guess
I
what?
don't need your information.
That's why we
I
love-
sell these type. Without your information, I'll sell
Guess
it
what?
any
They're
way.
owners.
Guess what?
right? The reps turn into
Yo, you-
owners.
yo, you be like,
they're
yo.
too
What
good
happens?
to talk to anybody. Like, come on.
okay, now I'm gonna take this back to the election since you mentioned that guy, 47. The game has changed, people. The legacy media, the regular MSNBC, CNN, the traditional media,
Censored.
that's not happening no more. Cats is going to podcasts, social media. This is a game changer. So this is the opportunity where we talk to these folks who sell cigars, whether you be a company or you're a lounge. So if a customer comes to you as a rep, your job is to explain the cigar. This cigar is from this region. This is the binder. This is the
Yep.
filler. This
Yep.
is what the cigar. This is a medium body. The conversation starts with, "Hey, how you doing?" Bum bum bum. "Hey, okay, what do you normally smoke?" "Oh, okay, this is our line." "All right, if you're a medium body smoke, this is our particular smoke. This is called the
Yep.
Sese. The
Yep.
Sese is a medium body smoke. It's from Nicaragua. It has this kind of filler. Bop bop bop. It's a nice medium
Absolutely.
smoke. A little peppery, a little bop bop
Yep.
bop. So you smoke this.
Yep.
This will be right in line with what you normally smoke with that particular smoke.
Absolutely.
That's how it goes. Going back to the person who works at the lounge.
Absolutely.
A conversation. "Hey, how you doing? Welcome. Hey, again, I don't need you to follow me around like I'm a thief, but let's have that conversation. Hey, welcome. Is there anything I can help you find
Well,
today?"
that happens to me all the time. I always get followed around.
Well,
always
I
get
don't.
followed
But what I
around.
can say is, remember we were talking about the gentleman. That gentleman didn't actually sell me a cigar right away. What I did after talking to him on the phone and I went to the lounge, I actually sat down in a chair. I didn't buy anything right away, and he engaged me in a conversation
Because he's a
weren't-
professional.
He's awesome, and in that conversation, and I think that guy was maybe like, I mean, he was working, and I was just sitting in a chair by the counter. So we were just kind of talking.
He made
And
you feel
then
comfortable
He made
first.
me feel very comfortable.
That's the key.
And
Make
then
your
he
customers
said-
feel
and I get
comfortable.
you to you. Some people don't have
like how
enough
you look
time
when
to do all of that. It wasn't like that either.
No, but I'm saying now to get to the second question,
What's that?
etiquette.
Etiquette in the cigar
Etiquette. Oh my
lounge.
God, etiquette.
Oh yeah.
People, owners lose a lot of money with this etiquette. Like,
Well, I know you had. Okay, good. I know what you're about to say.
right?
Sketches.
Yeah.
What's your take?
No, I disagree with him on this.
Okay.
Totally.
Let me see. I can be the tiebreaker. What you got?
Being that me and you
Mm-hmm.
are travelers, right? We travel. You know, I've been
Mm-hmm.
I'm at 38 states, 33 countries.
Mm-hmm.
And once you leave the Delaware area and you go down south, once you go through the door, they don't pressure you. They don't pressure you.
So okay, let me help
So
you.
when
out.
I go in there, I
So-
just buy,
so Sketches-
buy,
Sketches-
and buy.
So no. This is what
Yeah,
Sketches
I
rich.
don't-
Sketches
okay.
got a problem. This is just the house rules, brother.
It's an upstate. It's a northern.
No, it's
No,
etiquette.
not necessarily.
You have to go.
In Texas,
this is how they make their money.
In Texas,
You have to buy
have
the
a
cigars.
minimum.
You can't just go in
So-
there with your own cigar, sit down,
so-
and not purchase from the
See,
house.
so no one is saying
listen,
that. No one is saying that.
Listen, if you go into the humidor first, Now, I will tell you what they will allow you to do. I will tell you, like in Texas, right? The lounges there, with the exception of CI. CI is its own animal. You know, they make in Texas. That's like a club.
Of course.
So it's not like they don't give a damn. They don't give a damn what you have because you're gonna make it up in drinks.
Right.
But some of the lounges have a minimum, but you can satisfy it at the bar.
Yes.
So you can satisfy whatever their minimum is at the bar, but you can't just come in, smoke your own cigars,
Thank
and
you.
don't drink anything and don't.
Well, that's
spend
not
money.
etiquette. That's being an asshole.
No,
that's
I
a different. No, I'm saying
I
I'm
think
not
it's
talking about the
business.
asshole.
Oh, you talking about the person that doesn't spend any money?
Right, that's an asshole.
Yeah,
that's not
absolutely.
etiquette. That's
Yeah. Yeah, if
asshole.
you're not a member of that lounge,
You are an asshole.
You should spend. If you don't buy 2 cigars, now I have a whole humidor full of cigars, but I'm always still going to
Always.
buy,
Of
course.
at
That's
least
just
2
part-
sticks for
that
every
is-
house that I've been.
So
to.
let's be clear.
I'm at $15.
So let's be clear.
Oh, I'm more.
So let's be clear.
Bare minimum.
I'm
If you
more.
don't spend $15 when you walk into the door, you're an asshole.
So let's be clear.
You're an asshole.
These are brick and mortars.
Correct.
This is
There's
how
a
they
cost,
make
yeah.
their money. This is how they
There's a
stay
cost.
open.
Yep.
This is how we are able to sit down, meet new people, get involved in a great culture. This is not online. Online, of course, you got the better prices, no doubt.
Right.
But the brick and mortar is
I
where we
agree
go
with
and
you.
mingle. We sit down, we have conversations, and understand it's going to be a higher price than you can get online. But you cannot walk into the cigar lounge, no cigar lounge, and not bless the lounge and purchasing.
Especially
and-
if they don't have
Right.
a cash bar or
Yeah.
where
Right.
they're
Oh, forget it,
selling.
yeah. Right.
Now,
If
the
they're,
B-
if they're
even
not
when you got the
selling
BYOBs,
alcohol,
you have to buy the
You have
cigars.
to buy the cigars. Now, what I will say is I've been to a couple of lounges that the cigar selection for me
course.
was trash.
Of course.
Absolute. Wouldn't smoke anything in there.
80%
Am I
of 'em.
still going to buy 2?
You have-
Absolutely. Am I going to hold it in my humidor so I can
Yes.
give it to my friends later?
Yes.
That's what I'm going to do.
So if they
But-
got drinks, I do a drink and I find what I can try to find, and I do both. I do a cigar
always gonna
and
do
I get
2
the drink.
cigars.
Huh?
I'm always going to
I'm not doing the 2 cigars.
I'm always going to do 2 cigars.
If I'm gonna get a drink,
And I'm going to get several drinks.
Even okay. So now here's the thing.
I'm an Uber.
Sketches.
oh, you're Uber guy.
Sketches.
I'm an Uber there.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
99% of these lounges, even if they have a bar, require you
That's
to
wrong.
buy.
That's wrong. That's wrong. That's
Sir,
wrong. I
I'm
just
telling you.
told you I've been
So-
to 30-something states.
I know.
Listen, I've been to every city, every major
So-
city in the United
so
States.
I-
I done smoked
I-
there.
There's
I
cover
think-
charge. There's places
I
where you
think-
just
I
go
think
and
I'm
pay
in
a
the-
cutting fee.
Yeah, I think I'm in the middle of you two. I think that
You
if
pay a
you're-
cutting fee.
If you have a cash bar or if you're selling alcohol, your price index that you're making off of a bottle of
Yes.
alcohol
That's a little
is
different.
crazy. And so for
Right.
me,
That's
if
a
I'm gonna
different
buy
scenario.
if I'm gonna buy 2 drinks and my 2 drinks are going to end up costing me $50-$60, right? And then let's say I buy one stick, then
You're
that's
good.
it. But
You're good.
but if there's absolutely no cash bar, if you're not selling alcohol, if you're a BYOB or only
Yes.
members can
Then you
drink,
do the 2
then I'm buying 2
cigars.
cigars
Yes.
at the bare
Right.
minimum.
We're on the same page.
I'm probably going to buy
Listeners,
a couple
Right.
more than that. Yeah.
Hear what
Right.
we're saying to you.
Right.
We're all on the same page. If they have a bar and the person buys 1 cigar, they're going to buy multiple drinks.
Multiple drinks.
So don't go sweating them. Don't be no asshole.
Yeah, don't chase
Don't
them
be
down.
an asshole. Because once they sit down at that bar where they buying a beer and a shot, let them do their thing.
And they're taking
Stop
care of their
it.
people. You're
Stop
taking
it.
care
And
of your
you're
people.
yeah, so
I'm a great tipper.
I think
and I'm
we're all
taking
on the
care
same
of
page
people.
with that.
Right.
But I'm like very, very clear that 2 cigars minimum if there's no bar. Like,
Of
I am
course.
very clear on that.
And I think
Minimum.
everybody knows that part.
Even if you
No.
pay,
But I just found out that they don't.
That's what I'm
They
saying. You can't
don't.
assume.
They don't.
because
There's-
the etiquette does not extend to people. Like I told you, the difference 12 years ago and the difference today in the people who are smoking cigars because they think it's a status symbol. The reality of understanding what cigar culture is, the etiquette of cigars, and the rest of that is getting lost a little bit. Just like you would go into a cigar lounge, and the brothers would not do the sisters the way they do them now. They just wouldn't. They would understand, well, you know what? If you're here, you probably can afford to be here too.
So you're a traveler. What was your best experience? What state was your best cigar experience? Country or state?
Cartagena, Colombia. Without even blinking.
Colombia, the country Colombia.
Cartagena, Colombia.
Woo! Yo,
Yes.
yo, I've been there.
Yes. Hands down.
Cartel,
Been there.
No
cartel
matter
specials.
where you go,
Couple keys of coke.
Cartagena.
Yo, I
No
was
matter
in Wall
which
City.
one. Listen, and did you go to the cigar lounge downtown?
Of course I did.
Oh my gosh, that guy is so good.
Oh, he is like.
Oh my gosh, his prices are jacked up though, but it's okay. I had the best time there. But then you go 20 minutes outside of there are actual cigar farms. And you can buy it at the bodega right at the base of the cigar farms for pesos.
Yep.
You don't even
You can
have
buy
to,
fillers if you want. You can get the wraps if you want.
but you get full cigars. The same cigars that would cost you $20 in a lounge are pesos.
Well, that's
Like
always
$3
like
for a
that.
dollar.
Guy, like you know somebody who rolls cigars. You just buy the stuff and bring it with you. And then
tobacco
when you get
tax
back home, I was like,
kills
Cartagena,
what?
Colombia.
The U.S.
It's the best.
What?
Cigars
I could bring-
only cost $3 for the
I
Padrones
enjoyed it more than
and
Colombia,
everything
more
else.
than Cuba.
But
When I went, I enjoyed Colombia more than I enjoyed Cuba.
Yeah.
When I went to Cuba.
I love.
you didn't get
I
caught up by
love
the
Colombia.
cartel, nothing like that. The Colombian
No,
cartel.
no,
Okay,
no,
okay.
Listen, I don't know if you know, right outside of Cartagena is a little town called Palenque, and it is
Oh,
the
I grew up in
first.
Palenque.
I was gonna go there, but I was a little
went
scared.
there.
I
I was
No,
a
It
little
was
afraid.
the very first
I grew up
established
in
of.
I was a
Colombia.
little afraid. Now, if I go back, I'm going there. But
You
I was
have to.
afraid. I was afraid
No,
when I
for
first
what?
got there.
Listen,
Not afraid.
I
Come
was.
on.
I was not afraid. It's the first town of free Africans from slavery, and they kept
You know
everything
something,
still.
Bobby, you
Yeah,
know
they still
something.
speak Yoruba, and they still keep a lot of the same.
Wow,
Oh,
I
you
didn't know
missed it.
that.
Oh my gosh.
So the food must have been fucking off the
Amazing.
meat rack. Do they still stay
Amazing,
that?
amazing.
They still
no.
stay meat rack?
No,
They don't stay meat rack?
No.
Well, whatever.
Hey, the 1990s called. They want their word back.
Chain.
Fubu, come on, Fubu. Carl Kanani.
Or
Fubu.
you by us, right? For us,
We got
by
Fubu
us.
on his Carl Kanani.
cross colors.
Yeah, all that. Yeah, negative.
But yeah,
Crisscross and make
I
you
had
wanna
a great time.
jump.
Nothing, and the artwork was unbelievable in that lounge. That one lounge in Cartagena.
What about you, Small? What's
about
your
you?
best state, country?
Wow, that's a very good question, bro. I don't think I have one. As good gangsters as that may sound, I don't have one. But I'm going to ask you guys a question before we wrap up.
Okay.
Because somebody asked me this and I wasn't prepared. And it's a very basic question, but I was like, I never thought about this.
I'm gonna let
They
you answer
asked
first.
me,
You going the girls first, son. I'm from the old school.
Go
we're going
ahead.
to go
ahead.
New York first. Name a person, living or dead, that you would love to have a cigar with.
Barack Obama.
I said the same
For
thing.
me.
You cheating.
Barack Obama, because I'd love to have a cigar with him and really hear the inside stuff.
Yes.
Like, I know that there's a lot of inside stuff, and I think that brother is cool enough that if you had a cigar with him
And a drink?
and a drink,
He going to start
he
snitching.
wouldn't start snitching, but I think he's cool enough that he knows that. What you gonna do to me now?
You know
I
what's
got
funny?
2 terms. I'm good.
I said the exact same person. But Sketches.
I love Barack Obama. I love Barack Obama, but I'm 55 years old. I'm sorry.
Who you picking?
I gotta smoke a cigar with Bill Cosby. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
There's no wrong answer.
This
no right
man
or wrong.
sniffed cocaine and then came out with the Cosby Show. I want everything, and he had sex with
He
a
put
lot
a
of
lot of
women.
sleep and stuff in.
But
this
that's
shit.
but I want
allegedly.
I
good.
want to hear. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. I want to hear he. It was the first man to come out with these type of shows and yo, Bill Cosby's no joke.
You know, he was my track sponsor in high school
How?
because I went to Overbrook High School in Philadelphia, and he's Philadelphia track and field. And so he heard about me, and he was my track sponsor. I got pictures with him.
That's crazy.
He always had handlers around
You
me,
just-
so thank you, Jesus.
You got pictures?
Thank you, I do. Thank you, Jesus, for the handlers.
Hey, cut it out.
I could have been. It could have been me.
No.
And maybe I didn't remember.
You ever drink his water?
Not at all.
You drink his water. His
Oh, it was in a
Quaaludes?
public space.
But no, I like
Kalo.
that. No, I
Yeah.
like his answer.
Yeah, I do too.
I can rock
do
with
too.
that.
I could too.
Unfortunately, he's been stained and, with these different allegations and so forth. But
I
no,
mean,
that's
not Diddy, so
no.
there's
he-
that.
He has done a lot for the
He-
black community.
he has.
Period. So
He
he
has.
has came a long way from being an actor, a comedian.
Can I just
to
say something
entrepreneur.
controversial on that?
Please,
It better be controversial.
It's going to be controversial.
it's okay.
Good.
So back in the day, though, this is what I
Back in the
believe.
days
I
of
think
the
back in the
ball
day,
and
like in the 60s, 70s, I think that was just the practice.
Yes, it was.
I think the practice was the casting couch, and the practice was like, now the one girl that sued him, the one that was the lesbian with the hair, like I don't know what that
Right,
was, but,
yes, uh-huh.
but I mean, this is
was
for,
she a lesbian? Huh?
well, this is for jokes maybe, but if I
She's like
okay,
Howard
you
Stern.
can cut
Look
this
like Howard
if
Stern.
this is inappropriate. You can cut it.
There's nothing inappropriate.
She
on
could
the
look
podcast.
pretty back in the
Listen.
40 years ago. She was pretty.
She was.
She's pretty.
But
Absolutely.
if I wake up with your dick in my mouth the first time, I'm probably not coming back. Like, I'm not coming to visit you again. And so she's like, and then the second time,
But why not?
Because if you did something and I fell asleep and I woke up
That's
and
right,
your
you was
dick
violated.
was in my mouth,
You was a throat
and
slip.
I was
So it doesn't
violated.
matter who he was.
Not to me. I'm saying to me,
Hold
my
on.
rationale would say no, because then.
Well, he was Barack Obama of the time.
So I'm not
So
waking
was-
up with Barack Obama's dick in my
Okay,
mouth.
so hold on a second.
Okay.
All
That's
right.
a good answer. That's a good
Going
answer.
back to the practice, the past practice. If you come into somebody's room 2 and 3 o'clock, hotel room, I don't know. You coming in at 3 o'clock in the morning? What are we talking about? 3
I
o'clock.
think that 70% of the folks knew what they were getting into,
Yes.
but were okay with
Oh,
getting
are
into
you doing
that.
70?
So I'm going 70 because
70?
I do think that there were a couple that didn't. Now with the Diddy nonsense, those stories are horrendously just horrendous. That is not even on the scale of this.
That's different.
That they're just horrendous.
But what makes it different?
Because these girls were not going there for that. They were legitimately going to a 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock party, and he was drugging them, and then they couldn't leave, and then
There's
rooms
a whole
full
bunch
of
of-
people
it's a whole
were
bunch of
raping
motherfuckers.
these girls, and it was a lot of stuff going on.
So I actually knew this prior to, so I wouldn't even go. So I don't know if you know prior to, why would you go?
but the
Because
one
they become superstars.
No,
It
so
was gonna be a
the
superstar.
one story I heard, the girl was with her agent, and they found a way to separate the two of them. And she said she took a sip of the drink, and she realized there was something in the drink, and she was trying to tell her agent there's something in this drink, but the agent drank it, and the agent ended up passing out. But they didn't want the agent. She was not high because she didn't drink the drink, and they raped her in that studio because her agent was passed out. The person she came with for her safety. So that's different.
Absolutely.
That's way different. But I mean, both of them are wrong. Let me go on the record and say that.
Oh, absolutely.
Both of them wrong because based on your status, you could have been like Tiger Woods, like I'm Blasian or whatever, and some girls would have gave you whatever you wanted. But you don't need to put anything in anybody's drink with the idea that I'm gonna take it. Like it doesn't matter who
But
you
it's
are.
easier.
Whoa,
Well, you got no
goddamn.
game then.
That's just
Because
dumb.
If
I
you
know,
got money-
I call a spade a spade. When I was growing up, I'm on the corner, and 4 out of 5 men would say, "Oh man, she's gonna be bad when she grow up."
That's fucked up.
No, that's 4. I said 4 out of 5.
It's no
But
statute.
if you're
no
saying
statute of limitations
if you're
here. Be
saying
careful,
when she
Sketches.
grows up, then that means that was a little kid,
Mercedes.
or a young kid.
But I'm saying this is what men are doing and was doing for the beginning of
Absolutely.
time.
The opinions
doesn't
of the
make
guests
it
are not the
right.
opinions of the
It
Smoke
doesn't
World
make it
Podcast.
right, but you think we should teach this then? You think this should be part of health ed? You think
For
this?
who?
You think this should be
The
part of
girls
health
or the guys?
across the board? You think this should be part of health ed? You think they should implement this and don't drink any alcohol that you don't see being poured in front of you?
But if you see it being
Don't
poured
even
and
matter.
the bottles,
They already spiked the bottle. They had the bottles already
spiked
hooked up. These bottles are for
So they're
them.
watching it, and there's the
These
bottles.
bottles
like,
are
they don't
especially.
know.
They had the bottles already. If you had stories, they already got stories.
Yeah, they were spiked. They were spiked.
Them bottles is for these joints.
And who are you
Period.
to believe that you go to some big industry? You thinking there's got to be a couple hundred people here.
Yes.
Why in the world would I think that I'm going to go to this party with a couple hundred people and I'm going to be secluded and I'm going to be
Isolated.
like me? Like I'm going to be isolated
And be the
and
chosen one.
I'm going to be the one that 5 or 6 of them are tagging in on, and like they spike my stuff.
Cause they said everybody that went, their hairs in the back of your neck was like, "Yo, I gotta leave." So when do we use their hair in the back of our necks to say, "Yo, I gotta leave"?
Intuition. When that,
This
when
is
that,
not
when that
right.
6th sense kick in, like,
But
Like,
you gotta
like what
remember-
part? What part? Can
But
we
you gotta
teach
remember-
that?
but you
No.
gotta
It's
It's
remember
something
the
that you
age.
can't teach. Then
no, I'm gonna
think
tell you
you
what
can.
happens.
Can you teach that?
I'm gonna tell you what
I think you
happens.
can.
No, that part you can't teach. It's going to be your
Can't teach
intuition.
that. Mm-hmm.
But they wanted to be stars. These folks wanted
But
to be.
they were also very young.
Of course.
And
but
so
the-
their intuition.
But what's young?
No. So if you're
But the
17,
parent is a
18, because
parent
some of them
plays a
were
role.
younger than 17, 18. But if your intuition hasn't kicked in yet, you're not like.
so
it's
this
the-
is why I blame the parent. Because the parent, I mean, if you're 17 years old and you're
can't-
aspiring to be, Hold on.
17 is
Hold
old,
on.
man. 17
Old.
is old, man.
The fuck?
It's we are the only country that makes
What are you talking
17.
about right
Because you want to be realistic. We're
Yeah,
the
I
don't
only
agree with
country.
this.
Well, that's good.
conversation.
That's good. That's
We're the only country
we'll be
that.
the only one.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I don't either.
17 is not old. I don't agree
Nah,
with
bro.
that.
No, I'm going by what the international law
But-
is.
Okay, so but I don't care about international law. But you grew up in New York, right? So I think that there is a very big difference between a city 17-year-old and a suburban 17-year-old. And so
You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah, and
you're
so
definitely right.
So you're talking about the fact that I grew up in Philly.
You're right.
So you're talking about the fact that since I
Street
was
sense.
13, 14, you probably was at home by yourself, locking the door at
Last
like,
key, last
Yeah.
at
key,
like
last key,
12,
was the last
13
key?
years old.
Right.
And so you have a different
Right,
sense
right.
of okay, this doesn't feel right to me versus a suburban kid who grew up very, very protected, and now you're in a situation, and you have to look at half of the people that are coming up with these stories are not kids that grew up in, you know what I mean?
You're right. You're right.
So you have to take that
You're
into
right.
account.
you do.
Thank
Is
you.
what I'm saying.
You
All
do.
right.
Sketches.
Sketches.
You
That's
do.
why your name's Sketches.
No, but
Papers.
Sketchy.
But I got to open it up and open out and think out of the box so everybody can understand. There's a difference
we
between the
understand.
17-year-old coming from the project and
But
the
even a
17-year-old coming from West Virginia.
17-year-old that's being targeted by a 30-year-old who has all kinds of experience on how to manipulate a woman, that is different. And I don't care where
Men
you
and
grew
women.
up. I don't care where you grew up. A 17-year-old is not prepared to even understand what's manipulation and what's not because they haven't been exposed to it. And I don't care if you grew up in New York. I don't care if you grew up in Philly. A same guy that's 30 years old that grew up in New York and grew up in Philly, they've had 15 years on you to perfect their thing. And so that 17-year-old, it's a friggin' storm that hits them. They don't know.
Thank you. Rat bastard. over
Yeah.
there.
So
That's
that's
God
why
dang.
I talk
And
about
ladies,
that.
this is why you stay away from the cigar lounge. It's like,
Well,
I'm kidding.
no.
I'm
it's
kidding.
just-
I'm super
It's
kidding.
just that why we don't teach this. That's
What
the
can you,
It's your responsibility as a
or,
parent.
or
No,
or-
not the parent. No, not the parent. Why we don't
or,
teach this?
Or,
Who
or
we?
excuse me, or why don't we freaking tell 30-year-olds not to go after 17-year-olds?
Yes.
Why is it the onus on women
kid.
on the kid on
That's
the
a kid.
the kid should be able to decipher.
Right.
No, the friggin' 30-year-old, why don't you fucking date some people your own age?
Thank you,
Like,
Mercedes.
come on, man. That sounds
Put
dumb
your little
to me.
Volkswagen away, bro.
That
It-
sounds dumb as
Mercedes
shit
is
to me.
talking right now.
No, because it's not going to stop.
I know,
It's
but
not going to
until
stop.
brothers hold that guy accountable.
But
And that's-
I just
but
said we don't do that.
But that's so now
We don't
I
do
know.
that.
So
Why
now
not?
you're wanting a reaction.
Why not?
because it's not cool.
Okay, and
What
so
do you mean not cool?
let's go
It's
back
not
to
cool.
What's not cool?
You want the answer? I'm giving you the answer. 4 out of 5 guys when I grew up said, "Wow, she's gonna be look, damn, she look good." When she grew up, she's gonna be banging.
But here's
I shouldn't have heard that from 4 out of 5 guys growing
but
up.
here's the
So when
problem.
I say, what do you mean by
Yeah.
that? I'm not the cool guy because I'm
I know, but
asking
here's the
question.
problem. So now we go further. Now let's go back to the cigar lounge. Let's bring it back to the lounge.
Right, let's go back to the lounge.
Let's go back to the lounge. Y'all brothers will see a brother out there. You know he's married. You know he's acting a hot mess in that lounge. And y'all don't do anything to check that brother a little bit. Even if you're a member and you know him. And so that's the problem. So then now the onus is on the sister of the leaves that are coming into this lounge. And you got all these brothers swarming this woman. When at the same time, y'all should be like, listen, this is our lounge. It should be comfortable for everybody to come in here. We don't have that kind of atmosphere here. And you can check in a different way. And so, yeah, I think that.
But see, I
bringing it
do
back
check.
to-
I do check.
We ain't
but
talking about
but
you.
it's not
Hopefully
cool.
we
I'm
ain't talking about
I'm
you.
not saying you.
No, but it's not cool.
I don't care about cool.
But I'm
I
trying
know,
to give
but
you the true
I
fact of
understand
what
I
the men are
understand.
talking about when we
It sounds
talk
like-
about women.
I know, but it sounds like our men has lost the ability to protect us.
I don't think we lost it. We never had it.
Oh, we do have it. In
We don't.
If
Where's
it's
it?
your,
Is
if it's
there
your
a book that
daughter,
we can read?
If it's your daughter, are you protecting your daughter?
They don't listen.
No. If it's your daughter, are you trying to protect your daughter?
Yes, but sometimes they don't
No.
listen.
If you go into a place with your daughter and 5 grown men walk up to your daughter, what are you saying to those grown men?
That's a little different. That's a little
because
different.
you can't
most,
say
most
but you
men want to
can't say-
get the vulnerable
But
person.
you can't say that you don't know it because you know it. You just don't exhibit it.
This is going to be a part two.
But
This is going to be a part
I'm sorry,
two.
I'm done.
I
I'm done.
know men that are pedophiles
And predators.
and
They're
have
predators.
kids
Say
and
say
have-
predators. Say
and
predators.
have daughters and overprotective. Make that make sense.
Listen, part two.
Yes.
Part two.
Part two.
Part two.
Part two.
We
Sketches.
got heated up at the end of
Yeah,
this
yeah,
guy, didn't we?
yeah. It's going to be part two.
I
of this
got
thing.
4 daughters. That's why I can talk like this. I have 4 daughters.
Listen, you know, if some grown man came after my daughter, I'd shoot him.
That part.
That part. But
Sketches.
But if she keep it a secret, you can only shoot what you know.
Yo, man.
You can only shoot what you know.
How can
I
we
appreciate
you know
the
what I
fact that
mean?
he's devil's advocate.
That's,
here.
it's all good.
I gotta be devil's
It's all
advocate,
good.
You know.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
you gotta think out inside the box, outside the box, around the box.
Yeah, in the box,
The
all
box,
that.
the box.
Just don't touch the box.
Not
Sketches. How can we
Without approval,
that part.
permission.
Yo, how can we
And
support you, man?
over in age.
We wrapping up, man. Forget that, man. Forget that. The battery dying. Forget you, man. Sketches. How can we support you, man? Give us your information, bro. Talk to us.
Are you gonna put my link in?
Put your link in.
My link's gonna be put in. www.rockandrodproduction.com. I got everything. If you want to live forever, go to my website. That's all I can say.
SmokeWorldPodcast.com is the website. www.smokeworldpodcast.com. Smokeworld Podcast, IG, Facebook. There's a group. If you're interested in joining the group, come out and join the group and show us what you're smoking.
Are you on TikTok yet?
I'm always on TikTok, bro. I've been on TikTok since they started.
With Smoke
TikTok,
World, Smoke World,
Podcast.
Smoke World.
Every my name is
Smoke World Podcast is the
everything.
name on TikTok.
X.
Because I'm going back to TikTok.
Everything is on.
you better get your money out of it now.
Mercedes, we
It's
thank
only
you.
a
No, it's gonna be-
90-day.
Nah, it's gonna be
90
around.
day.
It's gonna be around.
Mercedes.
He was at the inauguration. So
Thank
it's
you.
gonna be around.
Thank you for being a guest.
Thank you so much
It's-
for having me, Smoke
Thank
World.
you.
This
Don't be
was really
don't be no
fun.
stranger.
Listen, when y'all come to Philly again, let's put some smoke in there.
That's what's up. Folks, we appreciate y'all listening. We thank y'all. We will check y'all out on the other side.
Peace.
It's the Smoke World Podcast. It's time to talk about what's happening, baby. So run, don't crawl. It's the Smoke World Podcast. It's time to think. So go ahead and get yourself a smooth drink. It's the